If you are a longtime Son Goku and Vegeta fan, then this was truly Akira Toriyama's love letter to you. Hey everybody, SonGoshuaku here, ready to review Dragon Ball DAIMA episode 19, which was titled Betrayal. So we kick things right off where we left with the Red Purunga quickly after having shut down Gomah with a fleck. And it is here that he has granted his wish, as we see right there. Was it true? Did Glorio indeed betray Dr. Arinsu? Well, she doesn't think so because she was looking so very confident as she says, "Now the power is mine," essentially. And there you see Red Purunga, who ends up leaving, and there you see Dr. Arinsu. She thinks she's got it in the bag here. She believes that she has now become the Demon Supreme Queen, or Demon King, as she says. Of course, Glenn's, which is what their race, the Supreme Kai's race is, has no genders. And right there, you see Son Goku's hair starts glowing, and he's wondering what the heck is happening. And then you see Piccolo, he's also glowing. What's going on here? And it's from here that Vegeta is like, what? And right there, you see Bluma, aka Boma, and right there, Nahare, aka the East Kaioshin, the Supreme Kai, and even Dente. They're all glowing, and I think we knew clearly what was going to happen here. And the entire field starts glowing. Looks very majestic, honestly. And right there is Son Goku. He's trying to figure out what's going on. He has figured it out as he is smiling, and he's got that big smile right on his face. You see his hand. It goes from the size of a child, and it starts mutating, and then it gets bigger, and it becomes the size of a fully grown man. It looks like, indeed, you see the legs grow. You're seeing now the proportions are that of a pure grown adult, and you see Goku getting even bigger, and there you go. He's very much well defined as a fully grown, developed human being. You see Vegeta there, smaller, gets bigger. Piccolo, once again, smaller, getting in bigger. You see Bluma, aka Nahare, they're growing as well. And there you see right there, it's really cool because this is something that back in Dragon Ball GT we wanted to see but didn't get outside of one form. And they're doing this cool slow pan up as we get to see, yes, a very familiar face. It is Son Goku. He is an adult again. So yes, as we figured, the characters have been restored to their adult forms. I am so glad to see this because I was so concerned that with Dragon Ball DAIMA, we were gonna end up getting our heroes, basically the main cast, becoming adults in the final episode after all the battle was done, because we saw some really cool stuff, and it's like, you know, it'd be a shame since we know a lot of this cool stuff we're not gonna see when it comes to Dragon Ball Super, which takes place roughly about 4 years after DAIMA here in the timeline. This is only 1 year after the defeat of Majin Buu, so I'm like, man, I hope we get to see them as adults. And there you go, it is really cool to see Son Goku right there testing out his fighting abilities back to what he has been used to. Shout out to SFKK King Mick MC609. Thanks for joining the chat. So you see Goku flying right there with his leg and everything, and just testing out his martial arts and stuff like that. Just very similar to what he was doing with early on when he became a kid again. So Son Goku realizes he's got his traditional fighting stance back, and just the animation looking really good. I believe this one was done by let me see here, it was, I think, Yamamoto, right? Yeah, Tadayoshi Yamamoto, who is obviously a huge legend in the anime industry for Dragon Ball when it comes to animation, particularly for the way his work looked in the 90s. I know there's a lot of fans who aren't so fond of his work now, but I think honestly this is some of his best work that we've seen in quite a while here. So it's looking really awesome, I think, with the colors and just all the amount of time and everything. Just amazing shots. That's what's been phenomenal about Dragon Ball DAIMA. Just going through these shots, everything is like, the animation has been so consistent. Say what you want to about Dragon Ball DAIMA, but I think the one thing that a lot of us can agree on is that from top to bottom, this is the most consistent, well animated, well drawn out Dragon Ball series in the entire franchise. Just every single shot you can use as its own standalone image. So I just thought this looks absolutely phenomenal here. And then we see the boot drop, and yes, Vegeta back into his adult proportions. It is great to see adult Vegeta, and he's even like, I'm back. Oh my gosh. And then he's like, I'm back to normal. Like, you know, getting himself psyched up, getting himself pumped up in already. And my man Piccolo had to put back on the drape, even though they're in a battle. And if I don't know if they still go by that with the whole, you know, weight trading stuff and everything, but assuming if they are still going by that law, Piccolo should keep his cape and turban on. But Piccolo, you know, felt himself, he's an adult again, so now, you know, he had to put on the drape, the classic Piccolo drape. So that was really cool. I will say, man, fantastic out to just the voice cast in general. It was really cool because in the Japanese version they were replaced. Well, Masako Nozawa, of course, she still plays Son Goku in the as the mini version, but Vegeta, it was played by Yudai Mino. Piccolo Mini played by Tomohiro Yamaguchi, and you even had Bluma aka Gomah played by Mai Nakahara, and a lot of other fancy voice actors, just phenomenal voice actors and actresses in the Japanese version. Of course, in the English dub, you had Stephanie Nadoni, who came back as Son Goku Mini, Paul Castro Jr. For Vegeta Mini, Nassim Binakor, who's actually come on the stream before. He's played Piccolo Mini, and then Bluma, aka Gomah, of course, played by Taylor Murphy. Fantastic job. I want to say both the Japanese and English cast did a phenomenal job playing the mini versions, and it's cool to see that both in Japan and America, they gave a lot of the younger, newer voice actors and actresses a big time to shine here. But seeing the adult forms, you guys got to know, man, is it going to be awesome to see Masako Nozawa go ahead, get back to that deepened voice to play Son Goku, the adult version. And then, of course, in the English dub, Sean Schemmel. And there's something coming up, and like, oh my gosh, Sean Schemmel, right? This is going to be really awesome to see. And of course, Chris Sabat coming back as Vegeta and Piccolo. And in the Japanese version, Ryu Horikawa and Toshio Furukawa, the legendary voice actors themselves, returning. And of course, Bluma, aka who originally was played by Hiromi Suru, unfortunately lost her life back, I think, in 2017. Rest in peace. She's now played by Ai Hasakawa. So just phenomenal, I just want to say, on the voice actors and actresses. Great to see these new up and coming voice actors and actresses get their time to shine, and great to see the older cast come back for in terms of what Toriyama's written, one last hurrah here and stuff like that. Also, last week I couldn't figure out what was Pansy's voice actors, but I wanted to give phenomenal praise to her as well. Ferus if I said that name right in Japanese, and in English dub, of course, Veronica Lux, phenomenal job and everything. But as we get to here, speaking of Pansy, I love how Dende basically is getting bigger and she's losing her balance, and then right there she's trying to hold him on, and you see Gomah right there just looking like, oh, this is not gonna be well. And this was just had to be the most awkward setting, right? There you got Pansy looking at Dende, and then Dente's looking back at Pansy. Pansy's looking at Dente. Dente's looking at Pansy, and then he's just like, what am I doing in this woman's arms that I don't know who the heck she is? Shout out to Pansy being that strong, given how much bigger Dente is than her. And then it's too much. She ends up dropping Dente right there on his butt. I thought this was hilarious. Very well done. And you see, of course, King Caden and everybody just looking in awe, and there's Glorio right there. So Son Goku comes flying back, and he's like, thanks, Glorio, which he's been constantly mispronouncing Glorio's name through this whole time. And Glorio, once again, as he's done the entire of the series, it's Glorio. And he even smiles because he's gotten used to Goku's innocence and stuff, and knowing that he doesn't mean any harm, just more of the character development right there. And Dr. Arinsu's like, what did you just do? And Barunga says, your wish has been granted, and gives us the old farewell. So there you go. And Red Purunga disperses, who we'll probably never see again, but that was really awesome. Like I said, if this is all we ever got of Red Purunga, he's the man. Red Purunga is the dragon. He's here. He ain't taking nobody's crap, so I love it. And there you go. This is the moment, as the Bart Simpson meme from the 90s could say, you could pinpoint if you were to go frame by frame, this is the actual frame where you could see Dr. Arinsu's heart get cracked in half. Man, watching her shattered dreams there, and the 3 Dragon Balls end up going off as Glorio looks on with the Dragon Balls going back as they usually do. So there you go. The sky goes back to normal there. And Son Goku back into his regular proportions, which it's really cool to see. Like I said, to see everyone back, as the adult versions always look cooler. And out comes Gomah, who's basically like, oh well, he says, you may have been turned back into adults, but you still don't stand a chance. So, you know, stuff like that, because that was his wish. But he's very confident because he's got that third eye, which was a nuisance basically, no matter how strong these guys were getting. And oh, you know, Vegeta was ready. This is a very much Vegeta episode. That's why I'm rocking the Vegeta tank top and stuff and everything. And he goes like, don't underestimate us. Now we're back to normal. And so from there, basically you get Son Goku, and he's like, now that we're back, let's fight at one time. Yeah, let's fight one at a time. And Vegeta's like, in that case, it's my turn. And Goku's like, what? And he's like, don't complain. You decided on that order, Kakarot. And so Vegeta flies off, and Goku's like, damn it, or darn it. Well, I'm pretty sure in Japanese he said, damn it. But it's here in the subtitle, they gotta just darn it and stuff. And so they do this thing where Goku and Vegeta fly towards each other, and they cross paths, and there's Goku angry as Vegeta's gonna fly in, and he goes like, hear that? You lot better not try to join in either. So yeah, Vegeta is absolutely ready to go ham, because that's exactly what he said. He was going to make the bastard who did this pay at the very beginning of Dragon Ball DAIMA. And so that was really cool to see, basically. And you got my man Piccolo looking there with the twitching eyes, you know, just like, can't believe bro is still on this stuff. Like, did he not learn anything when he got his whole butt whoop at SS1 by Juhachigo, aka Lazui, aka Android 18? She lit him up and is like, we still playing these games after all these years. And then so from here you have Tamagami 1 and Neva looking on, and then you have the rest of the cast, Dente and Bulma looking on there, and you see it right there on the face. Bluma, aka Bulma, she knows her husband the best. She can't believe he's still being this stubborn when they obviously see what they're up against. And so from here, you have that darn third eye. That third eye is ready and poised, making Gomah look very, you know, he's like, yeah, he just flexing because he's like, he's got this in the bag. And Vegeta showing no fear, no hesitation. He is ready. Interesting, I can't be the only one that was thinking this. Here is I'm looking like Vegeta was so out of it. So was he just so weakened because of his kid form, or did the dragon not only restore them back to their adult bodies, but did he also give them back their energy, restore their health back to 100%? So that's very interesting. And you see the size difference. There's Gomah flexing up to Vegeta, and Piccolo and Son Goku. They're gonna like, all right, we're gonna watch Vegeta. Hopefully he doesn't get his butt kicked. And Vegeta, he takes his gloves and he stretches it. He is ready for action. Got the fists ready, and boom, flies right towards the screen. So before we get into this very action-packed episode, let me go ahead and take a quick water break. Alright, and so the action begins as Vegeta basically teleports right over to Gomah, and he is ready. The action is there. Gomah basically teleports right in front of Vegeta, and he goes for a punch, and then Vegeta comes right there, ready for another punch here, and he's flying all over the place to evade the big giant foot that comes from Gomah. Goes right behind him, and Vegeta's gonna go ahead there, and oh no! Gomah comes in with a back fist as Vegeta's able to go ahead and dodge that with his elbow, and Gomah's just having the time of his life. Easy work is what Gomah's saying. Easy work. Vegeta in base form. I can't be the only one thinking that why are you starting out in base form? You saw where that got you before. I'm like, there should be no hesitation. There is no reserve as much stamina energy as you can. You need to go SS3 right off the bat, just like Son Goku did in the manga version of his fight with Kid Buu, because in the anime they had him go SS2 for a long time, and I don't know why. Very well animated, but logically didn't make much sense, and it only further diminished the power of Kid Buu in the anime version. But in the manga, yeah, Goku went SS3 when he was gonna be facing Super Buu, Gotenks Exorb, and Kid Buu. That was Toriyama's way of illustrating to us that right off the bat, these guys are not to be toyed with. They are a force to be reckoned with. But Vegeta in his base form is still gonna go ahead and try, even though that's what got him in the mess in the first place. And so there you see Gomah. He goes ahead and flies right back around, and then he's about to go ahead and collide some fists right there with Vegeta, and they're gonna go ahead and almost there, and boom, right there you see the action shot right there, and all that propels Vegeta backwards, and then Vegeta's able to go ahead and he's able to catch himself in the air as he's looking back more forth. Gomah still looking as confident as ever, and Vegeta right there, I think he has some respect. He understands what he is up against, and so as a result, even King Caden, he's like, he's that strong. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, base Vegeta form is must be on a whole different level. And so there you see, they're both colliding in the sky, and as this fight is going on and base Vegeta is holding his own with Gomah, you got salty, she's being very salty, just like Geekdom 101 said in his review. Shout out, very knowledgeable Dragon Ball fan. Yeah, like she's right here. She's like, I see how it is, Glorio. I see it. And Glorio, he's looking sad and depressed, and he's like, I'm very sorry. And from here, she's like, have you forgotten? And mentioning the kindness of rescuing him from the third demon realm. So here, we're finally getting our explanation of why he was aligned with Dr. Arinsu, which kind of leads up to Glorio, because he's not able, because I think as we learn, those from the third demon realm are not allowed to travel to the second and first demon realm. So she pulled some strings and everything for him. And you see right there, he starts to get desperate, and he's like, that's... And then he thinks about what he wants to say there, and he says, I'm grateful. And he's clenching his teeth and just looking right at Dr. Arinsu, and you see basically as he's clenching his fists here, and I really love that they're visually illustrating this to us, not telling us visually. They're really using the whole show more, tell less ability here to let us know that obviously Glorio being rescued by Dr. Arinsu truly meant a lot to him, and it actually pains his heart that he chose this direction instead, which is a betrayal to her. So I really love how this is being done visually, and they did a great job with the close-ups. And Dr. Arinsu, she even tells Glorio, forget it. And she looks right at him and says, you're fired. Leave. And no, she didn't do it the Vince McMahon way. You're fired. If you guys are WWE fans, no, she kept it cool, calm, and collected. And here, Glorio, he still is a class act here. He says, thank you for everything you've done for me. And he bows and runs off at quite a bit of speed right there, too. And I really love this part, too, here, because he starts running past Dr. Arinsu. And she is still mad. She's not even making eye contact with him. And they slow the image and animation down as he runs past her and blur it out as well. So you could see right here, the more it's really painful for Glorio to have done that. But he's going to move forward as his foot goes out of frame there. Dr. Arinsu the whole time made no eye contact whatsoever. And you even see the wind blowing right there. And she looks ahead. And I thought what was interesting is Majin Ku looks off. Majin Ku walks over to Dr. Arinsu, and from here, he ends up saying, you know, don't worry, I'll stick with you. And Dr. Arinsu's like, huh? And she smiles, and I like that. That was pretty cool, because all through this, he's kind of been like the what's the phrase they use? The red-headed stepchild. Dr. Arinsu almost kind of wants nothing to do with Majin Ku, but here you see that kind of cheered her up a little bit. So it's kind of almost, you wonder how really bad of a person is Dr. Arinsu when it comes to this. And then we get right back to the action right here with Vegeta being flying away, almost being captured here by Gomah. And there you see, yeah, he's actually using a ki blast right there, and boom, Vegeta's able to go ahead and dodge right out of the way, and Vegeta's flying back, and now he's dodging a whole barrage of these really cool, sick looking energy blasts flying all over the area. Vegeta tried to evade them, and Vegeta, he's being focused. And I love this part here. He realized, yeah, this base form thing ain't gonna work. This stuff is all over me. So just amazing sick looking animation as Vegeta's flying all around here. And it's from here that after these blasts are all going towards Vegeta, and you got Gomah just looking devious, you know, all that stuff. His third eye gets him another power boost. That third eye constantly being a nuisance through this whole entire thing. And Vegeta's basically like, okay, I finally have gotten used to my body again. And then from here, Vegeta basically, now that he's gotten, and I guess that's the reason why he's fighting his base form, just trying to get the swing of, get the hang of things, and, you know, before he starts going all out. And you see these really cool ways of Vegeta just dodging all these cool energy blasts, and Vegeta starts shooting these ki blasts right back. And then right there, point blank in the eyes, and nothing. It absolutely does nothing to Gomah, and Vegeta's flying all over the area, basically, still trying to get a grasp of what he can do. And you see right there as the rocks go around, Gomah is still unfazed with that stupid looking face. And the third eye, once again, giving him another power boost, or just regenerating him at this point. And it shoots his cool laser beam out of here, and Vegeta's able to dodge it, and he just starts shooting like with these ki blasts, as Vegeta's doing everything he can to just go ahead and evade. Vegeta's flying all over the area, basically trying to escape this. They're all over him, and Vegeta's doing a good job in base form so far. He has really put up a huge fight, so he starts flying back now, right there towards Gomah, and he goes right to his chest, takes these two energy ki blasts, and shoots it almost like a final flash, and then right there, boom! Oh, look at Gomah's like, what? And looks like he's being obliterated. This was just really sick, cool looking animation right here, big explosion, and Gomah right here is like, you know what, like I said, it would have been blood, but they put this on Fuji TV, and so because of the standards, they had to return that blood into spit and everything. So there you go. And Vegeta comes back into the frame. Yeah, doing very well, I must say, in his base form. And Gomah's like, nope, gotcha. And he's looking right at Vegeta like, what you got? What else? What else? What else do you got for me? And so Vegeta right there, he starts powering up and boom, right before he can even reach Gomah, he's able to go ahead and try to squash him like a bug. But is it to no avail? You got right there Vegeta basically holding on with his forearms. Let's see, Riku Torres. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Hello, hey, thank you for joining the stream. So Vegeta right there, he's basically trying to go ahead and hold back. And Gomah, what you kept saying, he's like, I can go all day. And Vegeta is like, I'll show you. And right here, as Vegeta basically tries to continue, we see that golden glow, and there we go. Now we are seeing it. It is going. The energy ki blast is there. And oh, is it gonna work? Gomah's closing in. Gomah's got him. Oh, is it over for Vegeta? No, we see another big shiny blast. Could it be? I think it is. Yes, look at the shine. Boom! Finally breaks Gomah's grip there. And oh, look at Vegeta. SS1 in the chat. Let's see. Sure says, nah, Bulma exposing Vegeta about showing shower. Yeah, we're gonna get to that soon. Showering with her. Yeah, that was an all-time moment. And it says, okay, all right, cool. But hey, I think he's somebody on the stream here. And then Vegeta basically wasting no time in SS1. He goes in for, looks like a kick. Boom! Look at that. Look how much his foot is into Gomah's gut. Oh, so much that is buried in there. Got that foot deep into the gut. Oh man, looking fantastic. Got shine everything. Sparks flying, and Gomah's like, oh, he's feeling that power. Boom, to run rock. And then Vegeta flies right after him. And then from there, Vegeta staying focused right in the game, and he's like, now Vegeta has taken this personal. He's ready to show Gomah what's really up. We see the electricity spark. Vegeta going to SS2, and you all know what I was waiting for. I'm pretty much sure it's the same thing that you Vegeta fans out there were waiting for as well, because Vegeta is keeping the pressure on, and Gomah right there, as you can see, that third eye is like, no, I got you, Gomah. And so it explodes in there in this spark, and Gomah's like, what's good? What you thought it was? What? And then from there, Vegeta flying right towards Gomah, and Gomah starts showing this really huge ki blast, and he just swats that thing. Look at the animation, absolutely on freaking point. And right here, the blast nearly goes to head towards Vegeta, and Vegeta's like, he goes ahead and he dodges that, and then Vegeta flies into the sky, and he's flying higher and higher into the sky. Just loving the animation right here as Vegeta's going up into the sky, and we get to look up in those eyes like Vegeta is all business, on point. And then we see his hair get longer, and he's like, I'm like, let's go, let's freaking go. It's getting longer. I'm like, yes, the one thing I was hoping we were gonna see, because this is the only time we're ever gonna see it, because we don't see it at all in Dragon Ball Super. Vegeta starts going right over to Gomah. The electricity is going. Gomah forms another giant ki blast, which he's gonna go ahead and unleash right towards Vegeta, but he's able to dodge out of the way, and then he goes ahead and dodges another one. He cannot catch Vegeta. Vegeta's being too fast for Gomah. That's three energy ki blasts wasted through the rocks, and then right there, boom, we see this really cool eye, and bam, Vegeta goes right through the rocks. Man, it isn't crazy. Let's see. Trezura, I think if that's Trezura, if I said, hey, thanks for joining the stream. Vegeta coming right in, right there. Bam. I love the way this shot's look. You know, this kind of reminds me, because he's basically SS3. Let me know in the chat, or even in the comments if you're watching this on demand. Do you guys and gals out there think SS3, not Vegeta so much, but SS3 as a form looks better with eyebrows? So that's just really interesting. So we see these eyes right here, and Vegeta basically unleashing all that power. I love it. Look at the energy, the electricity. Oh my gosh, look, it's so sick right here. Vegeta unleashing all the power, and we get this huge, cool, really big explosion. I just love, like I said, the animation staff absolutely on point. Look at that, the blues, the golds, man, huge looking explosion right here, and Gomah's actually being pushed back and starting to get a little annoyed by this, and he's barely able to hold on, putting up a guard, and we got the electricity sparks flying right there. Really cool looking stuff here, and Gomah sees the shine, and he sees the electricity, and he now has been faced. He's looking like, and he is livid that man is. He cannot stand what he is seeing, and there we see in the distance, it really is those giant golden long locks. We see the electricity flowing, and it is Super Saiyajin 3 / Super Saiyan 3, but better known in the Funimation dub as Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. And he's got those eyes going, the eyebrows, it is complete, no eyebrows, and he's got the pupils back, which they didn't draw in the kid versions of the forms, and that is just really looking sick. Oh, sick, man. I didn't know once until I see it, how it looks as an adult. Man, I gotta be honest, I think SS3 Vegeta probably one of the coolest looking form I've seen, man. Just one of the coolest looking form. Like, that looks fantastic. Like, man, Toriyama, you know, God rest his soul, but man, he really, like, out of all the forms I've ever seen with Vegeta, I'm like, this might be one of my favorite Vegeta forms, if not maybe my favorite. I have to really look back and think about it. For those of you who are manga readers, you know about Ultra Ego, but man, this looks awesome. Fantastic, just amazing. My gosh, Trezure, we need to get this guy more viewers. Hey, thank you, I appreciate that. It all helps the channel. Hey, if you got any other Dragon Ball friends and stuff like that, send them a link to the stream and everything. We have a good time and stuff. And man, that just looks so sick. SS3 Vegeta. SS3 Vegeta looking awesome. Like, this is, I'm like, yes. I was like, thank you, Akira Toriyama. Thank you so much. I'm glad we are able to see this. Man, adult SS3 Vegeta. This is something that fans have wanted to see for almost 3 decades, and I cannot wait to see this. You know they're going to make a ton of money, a ton of merchandise off of this. It's definitely going to be DLC and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Very smart of them to do kids and adult versions, so you get 2 versions to play. So this is looking sick right here, and I love the electricity. Oh man, this was just so sick and going, getting so angry. All right, let me go ahead and get water so I keep my voice up here. Yeah, look at Gomah. He's like, and I don't know why Nahare, aka the Supreme Cow, was like Super Saiyan 3, and I'm like, yeah, you saw him do it before, but I guess he's still impressed. And and Fancy like, that's amazing. Like, yeah, y'all saw it the first time. And there's Goku basically just smiling. You know, I'm loving the electricity, the sparks. Vegeta looking really awesome here and everything. Showing no respect to Gomah, like, just he's giving him the side look, like, oh, like, okay, Vegeta's not playing here, but will it be enough to beat Gomah? Because this is fascinating here in this fight. Just, man, that is just awesome. That's why I had to use it in the thumbnail. That just looks sick right there. Like, SS3 Vegeta is just fantastic. Also, one of the best forms I've ever seen. Once again, so he teleports away, and there's Gomah, and he's like, oh, feeling the power, like, oh, boom, Vegeta made that boy feel power with his fists. Good stuff. Like, look at the bump, like, oh, like, Vegeta got deep in for that punch right there. And look at my boy Vegeta's like, you feel that? I told you I was going to make the bastard that did this to us pay. And man, look at Gomah right there. He's like, I won't let you get away with this. And then Vegeta flies, basically creates some more distance right there, and then he flies right back, and then he goes right in there with a big punch, and boom, knocks Gomah out. Got that boy like, whoa! And man, look at Vegeta putting the pressure. He's like, no. He's like, let me get you some of this elbow and stuff like that. They near decapitated Gomah's head right off. And bam, sends Gomah flying into the background. And Vegeta keeps on the pressure, flies right over him, goes right behind his back, and then just looking really awesome animation. He gets ready, and then right goes for, looks like the eye. Boom! No, he faded with an uppercut to Gomah's chin. Bam! Sends Gomah flying in the sky. And then boom, Vegeta keeps the pressure going on. And then right here, boom, he's coming in for a big foot, and Vegeta's like, no, he wants you to feel the power. Bam! Right in the stomach. Vegeta with the combos. Vegeta always had some of the sickest combos in all of Dragon Ball. And Gomah right there, he is feeling every ounce of that. Look at Vegeta. He has kicked this man so deep into the stomach, you can't even see the lower part of his leg, his shin, his foot, his ankle, all gone deep in there. And then bam, Vegeta keeps the pressure going, flying with Gomah, forcing him down to the ground. And then Vegeta flies in the back. And this right here, this was sick. Vegeta's like, you about to go ahead and feel the pain. And bam! Kick him into the back. Sends him over to the sky. And then bam! Kicks him right into the, collides him right in the face. And then goes ahead and sends Gomah flying. And then bam! Sends him right into the stomach. And then he flies right after him. And then bam! Right into the back. Nearly broke the boy's spine in half. Someone called the great Jim Ross from WWE and AEW Pro Wrestling legend. By God, is my witness, he has broken him in half. And this time Vegeta's like, no, you about to feel this whooping. Vegeta's like, you are about to feel every single bit of this whooping. I'm gonna make you pay for what you did to us for that wish. And he comes right back to him, and then boom, right into the gut, comes right back next to him, boom, right into the back, and then goes right for another shot, and then he goes right into the pain with his fist. Bam! Parries that fist right into the back. Gomah said flying, and then he comes right back, and he's like, nah, you ain't over, it ain't over yet. He like, boom, right into the back. And then Vegeta's like, no, it ain't over. Boom, like, dang. Vegeta tearing his butt up. He's like, you gonna feel this. He took every single bit of that personal. And then he goes with another big fist. And Vegeta's like, it ain't over. I took every single thing this personal, right? You do not mess with another man in this family and digress and regress them age-wise. People want to keep moving forward in life. He's taking this personal. Vegeta flying right after Gomah, goes right into the back spine, and then boom, another punch into the back. And he makes sure he really lays that one right there in there. Gomah's like, and Vegeta's just flying up like, oh, you feel that? You feel that power? And Gomah's like, and you know he'd be like, if he didn't have that third eye, he'd be begging for his life now. Make it stop! Make it stop! Oh my gosh, this was an epic moment. I'm hoping this is a rush attack in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, because SS3 Vegeta lit him up with the combo, and Vegeta still being fresh, so he's holding very well despite the huge energy drain that Super Saiyan 3 is. And then Vegeta right here, this was so sick. He flies into the sky, and he looked like he's about to do a backdrop, and he's getting his leg prepped and ready, and then he basically goes forward, and then look at the eye. Look at Vegeta like, I got you. It ain't over yet. He goes ahead and flips around with his foot, and then he basically puts a big giant SS aura around it, and then he ends up powering up his whole body, and then he takes his foot right there. Look at Vegeta saying, focus, like, I need you to understand, you about to feel this, and it's gonna hurt a lot. And then boom! Look at Gomah. He's like, oh, you got even the third eye poking out up here, looking like Mr. Satan, aka Mark Satan, aka Hercule in the TV dub. Oh, man, pretty much there, like where it says, boom, boom, boom. Ooh, you do not mess with another man's family. Yeah, very much so. Like Vin Diesel said and quoted me there. Oh my gosh, like the sparks got electricity coming out of this man's stomach. Oh, dude, look at this. Look at you see. And Vegeta does another foot and like just stomps him out, and he's like, oh. The stupid face of Gomah just makes it all look hilarious. Sends Gomah flying into the ground all through this whole entire mountain. Boom! On the ground. Hits it with such velocity. And then you've got the You've got the entire dust going out there, and look at Vegeta just looking awesome. That's an awesome win pose. This needs to be his pose in Sparking Zero when he wins. And there you see, man, it is completely all right. Okay, finna go to sleep. Good night. Hey, thank you for coming by to the stream and everything. I'll have it up on demand afterwards if you want to watch the rest, but I appreciate you coming by. Thank you so much for adding to the engagement level. And so there you see right there, we got a big giant dust cloud, and it's that third eye again. That third eye has once again made everything, because it's like a hack. Like, you guys ever play a video game where you use like a cheat code to give yourself 100% health, and you go up to take on the final boss, and it's just taking ever. It's taking 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, and you are just basically taking forever to try and get whatever little shot you can in on the final boss that you're fighting, and you're realizing, man, had you not had that cheat code to keep you at perfect health, you would have been gone a long time ago. That's what it feels like, because he can't stand up to Goku and Vegeta. They've been training in martial arts almost their whole entire lives. Well, Goku more so than Vegeta, but Vegeta easily obviously catched up very quickly, as Vegeta was mostly fighting all through the universe and didn't realize until he met his first fight with Goku, what could really be done through training. And so Gomah's like, peekaboo, I'm not done yet. I like you and your third eye. Like what are you without your third eye? And so he's like, I can go all day. Like what are you flexing, bro? What are you even flexing? Because of the third eye? Did you build that energy up through years of training like Son Goku and Vegeta? No, you didn't. So shut up. And so he's up here doing these poses and all that stuff like he's gonna do something. He forms this big giant energy blast, and he gets ready to go ahead, and he's getting ready and poised to just really unleash a lot of power into this. And Vegeta SS3, showing no fear hesitation, powers up, does an awesome power, and he's able to teleport out of just zoom in fast out of the way on there. And there you see Vegeta flying all over the area as Son Goku looks, and Gomah flies in after him. And Pansy's looking over there, and then she notices over here, it's Glorio. And I really love the music here, so let me definitely give high praise, because the music was definitely on fire too, I thought, for Daima. Of course, the music composer is Kosuke Yamashita. Yeah, he plays like this very emotional instrumental. Trezure says, good night, everyone. Hey, good night. Thank you for coming by the stream. I really appreciate the engagement level. Video will be on demand if you'd like to watch the rest of it, but thanks for coming by. And so from here, we get this really cool emotional instrumental playing of the theme song Jaka-Jan. And it's just really fantastic, and the way it was playing, it was really emotional there. And Glorio, he betrayed the one that rescued him from the demon realm, but he's looking over at the people who have now he calls friends. And he's still messy. He's still conflicted with it, because he didn't want to betray and double cross Dr. Arinsu like that. And he looks up though, and Pansy runs right towards him and just jumps, and it's almost like a little sister big brother moment right here, as she just lunges herself to go hug Glorio here and says, you are amazing. And I honestly, I was touched by it. Like I said, when it comes to Dragon Ball, yes, the action is amazing. I love these fights, and when they deliver a big moment, but it's the characters, it's the story, and it's Toriyama making those themes that make Dragon Ball so much more about the fighting. And I love this moment right here. I thought it was really well done. It was touching. And you just see right there, she pulls Glorio closer to the friends, and they do like this really cool effect right there, kind of gives this cool delusion effect, as in like, yeah, we're your friends and stuff, and you made the right decision and stuff like that. And you hear Glorio from Nahare. He says thank you very much, because remember, he had his biggest suspicions through the whole entire series about Glorio. I also want to go back that I think I was hitting to this earlier when it came to Glorio and Pansy. This is what I was saying in earlier episodes. I really love the subtle build-up. At first, Glorio thought Pansy was nosy, didn't want anything to open up to her. And then as the series goes on, you see Glorio, he ends up basically, there's one point he gives a fist bump over to Pansy and, to congratulate her. And then eventually, it turns into a high five. And then, you see him smiling around them more and more. So like I said, he clearly was becoming more fond of these people and everything. So I really love that this was being subtly hinted at throughout the entire series. So that was definitely very well done there. And you see basically Dente and Bluma, aka Boma, and Hibis, they all kind of nod their head, or Hibis up there throwing his hands in the air and stuff like that. Or yeah, they nodded and stuff like that, and he still got that silly hat on. So that was really good. And you see Tamagami 1 is even smiling, and it's cool to see that, because Tamagami 1 actually has personality and emotions there, apparently, because all he was doing before was just sitting there and all that stuff. And you see Neva as well giving him a wink, and Glorio kind of feeling embarrassed and all that stuff. So this is really cool, good. I enjoyed it, and I figured this is where things were gonna go with Glorio, as he opens his eyes here and he sees Son Goku basically looking at him. And he's faced off with Goku, and this is a great move right here. Goku says, "Nice going, Glorio." He's like, "Nice going, Glorio," and Glorio's like, "I know, I didn't just hear what I just heard." He's like, "That's the first time you've gotten my name correct." And that was really good. And Goku basically gives him a thumbs up, and then looks back towards the action. I love it. We got the close of that arc. Goku gained a lot of respect for Glorio, actually learned how to say his name right, finally got it right. So I thought that was a really nice touch. It was kind of like that whole Kakarot moment that you got at the end of Dragon Ball Super Broly. So that was awesome. And then from there, Glorio's now standing side by side with Son Goku, and it's just that running theme that Toriyama throughout his lifetime did so well when it came to Dragon Ball. Son Goku just being who he is, affecting people's lives in a positive way. That was actually one of the messages I had in the Toriyama Akira tribute video podcast that I did, where that time I ended the podcast saying that it was something that my mother always said growing up to me, is that just by being yourself, you never know how you can have a positive effect on other people. And that's what Toriyama did through his lifetime, and that's something that he did with Dragon Ball, having a positive effect on people, just doing his silly self of writing gags and mangas and occasionally really good action scenes and stuff like that, and that plays so much throughout Son Goku and its affected hero Glorio. So really love that. It's one of the things I love very much about Dragon Ball. All right, I'm gonna take a break here before we get back to the action. All right, so you got Vegeta right there going, "Damn it all!" And he starts forming this really big giant blast, basically, to just shoot at Gomah. And he just starts going to his old trump card in the anime, which is Spam Ki Blast. And he just starts shooting all at Gomah. He's like, "Oh!" And it sends Gomah into the rocks, blowing up the rocks, the area. But then that third eye still ends up being a big issue, and he flies back up to Vegeta, and you see where that eye is always glowing. So I really love that the animators always had a subtle detail for us to understand exactly what is the extent of his power. And at this point, I'm wondering, like, why don't they start attacking the eye? At some point, you just got to go ahead and try to attack the eye, because it's clearly what's making him last throughout all their techniques, making him so resistant. And so Vegeta even flies back right here with another big shot that sends Gomah right back into the ground with huge velocity, and they start going right through the whole ground here, and Gomah's like, "Oh!" and they're going through the ground. The animation looks so sick as we see Vegeta flying all through the ground, just through everything. Goma's like he's sorry. He just is. He is nothing without this third eye. And then bam, Vegeta just basically keeping the pressure as he goes further and further down right there. And you just see it right there. Gomah barely able to contain himself. He can't do anything with him. It's like Vegeta just keeps getting the upper hand, and the third eye is the only reason why he's able to still stay in there. And so Vegeta's flying right after him, and then basically they end up going right out of the arena that he made, out at the bottom there. And Vegeta goes ahead and flies right down behind him, and then he takes one hand and he takes out another hand, and oh, it's gonna be a Vegeta classic. He starts powering up, and the way they do the camera panning right here, and whoa, this is where the animation changed. Shout out to Yuya Takahashi. Let me make sure that was, let me make sure. Yeah, Yuya Takahashi, a huge fan favorite. Yuya Takahashi, he was a guy that burst onto the scene in terms of Dragon Ball during Dragon Ball Super and really changed the animation up. I think a lot with like the Goku during the Goku Black arc, especially into the Tournament of Power. That detailed shading, I always love his stuff. Man, he did a fantastic SS1 Vegeta transformation in Dragon Ball Super Broly, so you could tell this was his work. This was him kind of taking over as the animation direction. You had a ton of animators from all over the world working on this, so that was really awesome to see. But yeah, this just looks so sick right here. This is where the animation kicks into high gear. So he starts forming basically with electricity going around, the final flash, which never has been the final of anything, but it looks really cool and we love the attack, right? So Vegeta starts flying and he starts getting ready with his electricity. He starts powering up, right? And there you see it. He's forming it. He puts his hands together and he is focused, and I just love it. Look at the energy, man. This is where the energy attacks, where all the greens, the blues, the yellows, just looking fantastic as the final flash starts forming. And man, we got electricity coming all out of it, so he's gonna try and finish Gomah right here. And once again, Gomah's eyes still bringing him back up. He's smiling because he knows he's got this in the bag. And Gomah starts forming this big giant mouth blast, and then Vegeta's like, final flash, and right there, boom, shoots out a gigantic final flash powered by SS3. And it goes flying right there. Look at this. Look how sick the animation looks, man. Held by the direction of Yuya Takahashi. Fantastic stuff right there. Looking awesome. And he shoots out another, you gotta get multiple angles of Vegeta shooting out the final flash as it gets sent right there off screen. And then Gomah shoots his big giant blast, and he's powering it back over to Vegeta, so we get this really cool, huge key blast struggle. And boom, there you sit it, Mike. Look at this. This is what I've been talking about. The animation is so great. Everything is so well drawn out in Dragon Ball DAIMA. That right there is just, how is that not an awesome screenshot of itself? And then from there, Gomah with all the energy key coming out of his mouth, might as well come from the third eye, quite frankly. And look at that. That is just, look at that. This is just sick. The electricity, the energy, the visual effects on point, the shading, everything just on point about this blast struggle. And then Vegeta gets the upper hand. He's actually beating Gomah to the punch, and Gomah's like, and Vegeta's like, and then right there, Vegeta goes back and he unleashes more power, and boom, blows up Gomah's entire ki blast, and bam, clear viewpoint hits Gomah right there, point blank range. Boom, look at that, just, man, sick. Like, this is one of the visually most stunning, cool final flashes I have ever seen in the entire franchise. And Gomah's like, and then in typical final flash fashion, after the final flash has done a great job of looking awesome, going into the sky right there, really cool, into the clouds, and you see it right there, final flash explosion and all that stuff, looks amazing. SS3 Vegeta is now sucking wind. He's huffing and puffing. because we know how much stamina is drained by SS3. His aura is not even up right there, and you see the sheer devastation that he did to the whole place. And Vegeta's sweating now. SS3 feeling the wrath of what it is, and he's like, "Oh, that's the face that once again you might want to start." Vegeta might want to stop calling your attack final. Or no, did he? No, yeah. I don't know. I don't think the final flash. Shout out to Codename Super if you all watch him. I think he says the final flash has a 100% fail rate. And there you go, Vegeta still sweating right there with his eye, because there it is, Gomah coming out of the sky with his, looks like his whole body got repaired by the third eye. And you see this really cool part right here where all this stuff breaks off as if it was the eye was repairing his body. And there you go. So how many times would they have killed this dude right now if it wasn't for that third eye? And I just love the animation. Like, this looks awesome. Like, man, this just gives Dragon Ball like these serious battles, man. It just really gives the shading here just gives it this whole cool tone. SS3 Vegeta right there. He is in shock, like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. We got Clark in the chat. Thanks for joining. He says final flash because it is the last attack he can do. You know what? It might as well be. I mean, after he does the attack, he does not have a good record with it, though. I think when he faced Topo, he did do the final explosion, and that got him the win and stuff. And right here, the reason why Vegeta's shocked here is because Gomah has appeared behind him, and he's all like, "No matter how many times you hit me, it won't work." And Vegeta right there is spooked almost, or just shocked right there. And SS3 Vegeta, he pulls around really quickly, and Gomah goes right with a fist. Boom, and Vegeta's like, "Oh crap, the power!" And boom, sends Vegeta flying. And it's like, man, SS3 can't catch a W at all, man. In Z, Super, and now Daima, Gomah too strong, and he sends Vegeta flying. Vegeta's able to stop himself, and then Vegeta flies away to try and curate some distance, and Gomah's right hot on his trail right there. And Vegeta's looking like, okay, he's got to figure out what can he do at SS3. The final flash didn't work. He put everything he had into that, and he goes for a punch, and Gomah matches it. And then Vegeta right there, he's sucking wind. Boom, and Gomah's like, "Oh, I see you sucking wind. I can do this all day, like I said." And he goes like, "Ah!" And there you see that third eye, and boom, you see the wind effects right there is not looking good. And Goku, he's right. He's saying, "This is bad. His Super Saiyan 3 ain't gonna last much longer." And Vegeta Piccolo's like, "You're right." And Goku's like, "That guy, he's not showing any sort of exhaustion at all. And what's going on?" And as you can see, Vegeta trying his best to just fight Gomah, but then boom, he gets wrecked with a knee to the gut, and then he gets kicked away. And then Gomah right there ready to meet Vegeta, and no matter what he does, Vegeta is able to block Vegeta's fist. And Piccolo's basically explaining how it appears to be that third eye, because he realizes no matter what they do to this guy, it constantly keeps him coming back. No matter what they hit with him, it is that darn third eye. And Gomah's just looking super confident because he knows they ain't got a chance against him. And Goku, he's paying a very much a big attention to it. And Piccolo, he's wondering, he says, "While we've been restored, we still retain some of our damage." And that's what I don't get, because they're drawn as if they're fresh and new, but they still have damage. So it's like, I'm understanding, like, what exactly is their energy level here? They're just freshen up now because they're adults and stuff, and their body's like, okay, we're not that damaged anymore. I don't know. That was confusing for me. And then from right here, Piccolo, he ends up saying that, how they might be obsessed, that not by the time, this might not be the time to obsess over fighting. But come to think of it, he's like, the Supreme Demon King Abura used to attach and remove that third eye at will. Or I forget, like, no, that's Piccolo thinking that it's not the time to obsess over fighting. And this is where Dr. Arinsu's figuring out basically that, yeah, Dabura's father, he is the one that was able to he was the one that was able to basically remove that eye and everything. Really always wondered me, why didn't Dabura take the eye for himself? He easily could have probably easily defeated Majin Buu, because I mean, where's Gomah really on the power scale when you think about it? Like, he clearly is, we know he's clearly no match for Goku and them by himself, and he obviously was stronger than I forgot his name. He didn't make such an impact in this whole series the whole time. Degasu, and Degasu was one shot by Piccolo, who, as I mentioned before, Piccolo, he didn't want none of the East Kaioshin, so he doesn't really rank that high, I think, on the power scale. But that third eye, if it could take a weakling like Gomah from a physical fighting standpoint and enhance him to make him so much powerful, boom. You know, I want to see actually Gomah, and hopefully we'll see it in episode 20. I want to see Gomah use more of his big magic. Basically, what is it that made him so dangerous before the third eye and stuff like that. And so you have Dr. Arinsu, though. She's trying to figure out just how did he do it and everything, and she's paying close attention here. And this is where she turns to Majin Buu and says, you know, bring me back the book of magic, and I believe it should be archive number 37. And Majin Buu's like, righto, no problem. And Majin Buu, he flies off, flies out of the battlefield really quickly, and there you see SS3 Vegeta has become a sweating mess, and he is now on the ropes because, man, the stamina issue is now, he's been hit by the SS3 stamina issue hard now, and he's boom punching and punching again and putting everything he's got left into these punches right into Gomah. And look, Gomah's feeling it. Gomah's feeling the power, and Vegeta's going in for another punch, and boom, right in the chest of Gomah. And Gomah's like, oh, and Vegeta is exhausted right now. He's like, like he is just what's the word? He is a glutton right now. He is a glutton for air right now, and it is no avail. You see Gomah's hand coming up right behind Vegeta there, and boom, grabs him by the hair, because the third eye has restored Gomah once again, and he's got Vegeta now saying, what's wrong? Finish already. And then he goes for a big punch, and Vegeta, he has nothing left to defend himself. Boom! Right in the face. Gomah finally gets a good shot in on Vegeta, and that sends SS3 Vegeta flying into this right into the rock. Boom! Right through a rock. Boom! Right through another rock. Boom, right through another rock. Boom, through another rock. Boom, all through that rock. And then, oh, thankfully Vegeta's able to stop himself right there with his feet. But it's no avail. He ends up going ahead and taking a knee. Takes a knee to Gomah unintentionally. I'm pretty sure the Prince of all Saiyans, aka Saiyans, did not want to bow. And his hair goes black right there. And from there, it fades. And Vegeta is trying to keep up SS3 right there, but he's like, blast it. It's no avail. It fades back to black, and Vegeta is back in his base form. So he's lost the strongest shot he had against Gomah at this point. Not looking good, and Vegeta is just a sweaty mess. He's stubborn, and Son Goku, he's yelling back, hey Vegeta, can I join in? And Vegeta's like, don't be stupid, back off. He says, I'll take him out, anyone. He says, I'll take out anyone who gets in my way. And then he flies back up, and Gomah flies right through that rock, and then comes right ahead and is able to block Vegeta in base form. And Goku's like, I thought you say that. And Piccolo's like, this is not good. And Gomah, he's the rock now. He's the final boss. He's up here going like, just bring it. Or in this case, just bring it, like taunting Vegeta, like he's the stuff, like he think he's all that, but it's really the third eye. And so right there, he starts winding it up with his fist, and Vegeta's like, and Goku's wondering, like, what should we do? And boom, Vegeta's able to match the punch with Gomah right there. And then here, of course, in the subtitles, you see, I think Goku's explaining, he doesn't lose any stamina, no matter how much we hit him, obviously, because of that third eye. And now you see Gomah up here, squaring up, like, he feeling this, like, what's good? What's good? He ready to box and all that stuff. Like, I'm like, I don't even know if Gomah's got fighting skills like that. He just got flexing that third eye. And then Vegeta flies toward, and look, he's got head movement. Yeah, he's able to dodge Vegeta doing that straight shot attack, and then Vegeta flies right back at him, and now Gomah taunting Vegeta, doing what he did with the arms cross, fighting Vegeta, and then he's got that third eye, getting another boost from the third eye, and he's shooting an energy blast that boom hits Vegeta right in the face, and Piccolo's like, then your joining in may not make a difference. And Goku's like, what can we do here? And Majin Ku, he comes back and he says, sorry to keep you waiting. And he's like, sorry to keep you waiting. I don't think it was that long, honestly. And so, Dr. Arinsu, she compliments him, says, well done. So she opens up this big book and starts going right through it. And you see all these cool visual effects as she's going through, looking to see what it is that she can do to get this third eye out of Gomah. And Majin Ku says, shall I help? And she's like, yeah. And so Majin Ku, who, as he mentioned, even though he wasn't strong enough to defeat Tamagami 1, he said he has many talents and can come very much in handy. And proving to be the MVP, Majin Ku's like, here we go. And he just starts basically going full trucks mode, basically, with the burning attack, but using this huge speed. I forget, was it a show? Was it like Doctor Strange or something? Or it's either Doctor Strange or there's some movie where there's some sort of sci-fi movie I remember where they can read a book really quickly and everything. And Dr. Arinsu's like, wow. Let's take a water break here. All right, so Dr. Arinsu, basically, she's looking right here, and she's seeing how quickly Majin Ku is able to go ahead and read this and stuff. Like, man, that'd be cool. We could read things like that really quickly. And so Dr. Arinsu says, that's it. And Majin Ku's like, yep, I told you I could come in useful. And Vegeta right here, completely exhausted, nothing left, still just being stubborn. He's trying to block this ki blast. Boom. And it's no avail. So Dr. Arinsu flies up over our heroes right here. And in her brother, Nare, he's like, Arinsu. And they're wondering, okay, what you got planned here? So she tells him, she says, listen to me closely. And she's like, Gomah's third eye can be removed if you hit him in the back of the head 3 times in a row. So we're getting to very much video game boss territory. This has got to also be, obviously, I'm guessing this goes into a lot of RPGs and stuff, but also on top of that with this, this is exactly how they ended up defeating Cell Max. So there's so many things that that Dragon Ball DAIMA borrows from the old stuff and the more current stuff. Obviously, this must be like a little tribute to how they defeated Cell Max. So that's how it's done. You gotta hit him in the back of the head 3 times. You gotta say, I would have just thought you just shoot this guy right in the eye, basically the third eye. But you gotta hit him back of the head, go back of his head and smack him up 3 sides up side of his head. And then boom, he's like, boom, the eyes out, like, oh my gosh. So that's how that's what it's like in order to defeat him. And so Goku reluctantly is like, huh? Is that true? And I love it. They're portraying adult Goku here more serious, like the Goku that we know and love from Dragon Ball Z. Like I said, it's fine when Goku act that way as a kid in Dragon Ball because he was a kid, but we saw how much more mature he got as he developed going into Z. So it's cool to see that Goku that we all know and love back here. And he has the right to be hesitant because Dr. Arinsu was trying to be very selfish with her wish. And so, Nahare, he's looking up like, and Goku's like, hey, thank you. And he's like, that's wonderful information. And so basically, or was it, it may have been her brother. Yeah, her brother was probably saying thank you. That was wonderful information. I forgot. So Dr. Arinsu, she goes like, don't get the wrong idea. She just wants Gomah defeated as well. But this kind of goes into what I was thinking. In pro wrestling, they call it a tweener. She's not evil, but she's not good either. She's kind of in between. She's not it's pro wrestling. She's not a baby face meaning good. She's not a heel meaning bad. She's a tweener. She's like in between, So that's basically what's going on there. But Goku, he's smiling. Piccolo's like he still has his he's still a little hesitant, like, I'm watching you. And so he tells Goku, what now? And he says, I doubt it will be able to get an opening to hit the back of his head 3 times. And Goku's like, I ain't got much stamina left, but I've got more than Vegeta. And Vegeta basically right there is just, just got nothing left. This really is been the episode. This is like the story of Vegeta's whole entire character. He has really cool, great moments, but in the end, he's there to basically end up getting beaten down by the main villain before Goku kicks in. Tracer has returned. Hey, thanks for coming back and everything. I guess you didn't go to sleep for the night just yet. But hey, thanks for joining again. And boom, right there you see Gomah goes ahead and he punches Vegeta right there and sends Vegeta flying all into the background, and it's just not looking good here. Vegeta's just being stubborn, and Goku, he's like, I'll fight. You find an opening and hit him in the back of the head. And I love this. This is going back to the beginning of Dragon Ball Z when they were strategizing against Raditz and everything. Goku would go ahead to fight Raditz while Piccolo would form the Makokotsu. Oh my gosh, I forgot how to pronounce that one. I think I got it right here. The Makokotsu pole, aka Special Beam Canyon. And so he's like, you got it? And Piccolo's like, okay, got it. And so from here, Nadare, he's like, yeah, but I think Vegeta would rather die than to try to take anyone else's help and stuff like that. Neil Throne, thanks, Neil Throne, yeah, Theorol, thanks for joining the chat. You said Vegeta is basically the second guy, not the main guy. Pretty much, yeah. He's all. I've always said that I had a joke running around Dragon Ball Super called the Pecking Order, and it is the Pecking Order in Dragon Ball that Vegeta, he always fights the big bad and sort of softens him up for Goku to come in for the big win. So kind of like I was always positioned and everything. And this is, oh my gosh, this is probably one of the most talked about parts in this whole thing because, man, oh boy, we get Bluma, aka Momo, walking into the battle lines here, and she is mad. Look at that step. Look how she's walking. She says, leave it to me. And man, once again, going back to the voice actresses, rest in peace to the late great OG Bluma. Hiromi Suru. Would have been awesome to hear this, but I thought the current voice actress that replaced her, Aya Hisakawa, did a phenomenal job here, and I'm pretty sure that Monica Rial, when they get to this version in the English dub, she's going to kill this as well. Can't wait to hear her and Chris Sabat, because man, this whole part, Aya Hisakawa and of course the legendary Ryo Horikawa, they killed it. So oh man, so Nahara's like, what are you gonna do? And Bluma, she goes ahead and closes her eyes. She takes a little sigh, and she yells, Vegeta! And Vegeta's like, what? And as he's trying his best to dodge and all the shots here, she says, get your head out of your butt and let everyone else fight. And Vegeta's holding back here and is trying to hold back Gomah's punches, as you can see. And Vegeta's like, no way, I'll beat him even if it kills me. And Gomah's like, yeah, I'll kill you, all right. As he's going right there. He's like, then you can just die. Basically, because he has this one in the bag. And Bulma, she's like, stop being stupid. And she says, if you're going to keep fighting, and she says, I'm never going to. And here comes the big line. As you see right there, as Gomah's about to go ahead and punch Vegeta, she says, take a bath with you again. And after that was said, she yells that out with all her passion, and they slow the animation down. And right here, they zoom away from Bluma, aka Bulma, and they zoom in right here to Vegeta and his reaction as he looks back, about to get crushed by Gomah's fist. He's like, oh, oh. When I first saw it, I literally was just laughing out loud like this. Almost fell back in my chair laughing. Oh my gosh. I did not see this coming. This was absolutely hilarious. Vegeta right there. His whole world has been devastated. The close-up on his eye. That boy quickly zooms there, zooms here, zooms back there, and then basically disperses his ki away, gets to the ground, turns and goes ahead, closes his eyes, swallows his pride, tells Goku, very well, I'll take you over. Oh, and he goes like, very well, I'll let you take over. Oh my gosh, Dragon Ball DAIMA has been great for this one. Man, on this podcast about 5 years ago, we did a ranking the 4 main couples of Dragon Ball, and shout out to my boy Linux, who said when it came to Vegeta and Bluma, aka Bulma, they're still developing, and it feels like we're still seeing new things to their relationship. And boy was he right, because not only have we learned that Vegeta is a big lover of boobs, well, we all pretty much probably speculated that, obviously, with who he's married to, but this was just said flat out here when he was embarrassed by it. But we learned that Vegeta and Bulma, aka Bluma in the Japanese version, they be getting freaky in the bathtubs. Oh man, we have really seen a different side to Vegeta, and just seeing how much control Bluma, aka Bulma, has when it comes to making Vegeta get right, keeping Vegeta on the good foot, basically, has been fantastic. And it really goes back to what my boy Linux said, is it's not so much that, hey, after the Majin Buu saga, Vegeta was, basically became that much of a better person. You have to look back at that 7-year time skip. Truly, he really did grow fond of Trunks and his wife Bulma, and he realized he made a mistake when he allowed Bobbity to take control of him, and he became Majin Vegeta. So I love it. This has been great. It's unfortunate Toriyama is not here to see people, to see the fans, laugh at this amazing joke that he created. But it's like one last great Vegeta Bulma moment that he gifted to us, the fans. This was fantastic. Absolutely everything about this works. So if those of you have ever wondered what is Vegeta like, behind the scenes, we've learned the different side of his character. Him and Bulma, they love getting freaky in the bathtub. Oh man, so they're doing quite a few dirty things as they get the dirt off of themselves. So this is just fantastic in so many great ways, and I love that this is, of all things, what got him out of the fight. This is what gets him to take. He can be stubborn, but once the wife gets involved and says, no more, he's like, all right, Kakura, you can go. You ain't fighting anymore with that. And that shows you, for as much as these Saiyajins love fighting, hey, when it comes to the bed, hey, hold on now. Ain't everything more important than fighting. There's some things out there more important, all right? I love it. I need to know what Vegeta's reaction is in Dragon Ball Superhero when he comes back and seeing Bluma, aka Bulma, has a bigger booty now thanks to the dragon. Oh my gosh. I hope moving forward in the future, Toyotaro keeps more of this stuff up with Bulma and Vegeta. Fantastic stuff, man. This is hilarious. And so Goku's like, and Piccolo's like, the shame. But of course, he doesn't understand romance from a human standpoint. He's a Namekian. And Goku's like, all right. So we obviously know something that him and Chi-Chi don't do. And you see East Kyle Shin, he's like, ha, ha, ha. And they're all embarrassed for him. It's just hilarious. But hey, the man enjoys a good bath with his wife. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. And right here, boom, the pecking order, as I always say, the pecking order. Goku enters the fray after Vegeta has failed. And he's like, okay, all right, so before we get to this big moment, let me go ahead and take another break for water here. All right, so Son Goku, he enters the battlefield, and he's like, if he suspects anything, he'll be on our guard. He said he'll be on his guard and stuff. I don't know if that was Piccolo or Goku who said that, but he says, we only got one chance, and so there we are. It's coming down. They make it really like it's going to be Piccolo, Vegeta, and Goku who are going to have to fight this out 3-on-1, and someone says, I know. I think it's Piccolo. He's like, I know. And so right there, loving the shading right here. Goku's like, okay then, and he starts looking up, and you see he is all business right there with the close-up of his eyes. I love the shading, by the way. I love the what is it, 1, 2, 3, the 3 layers of shading. Fantastic, great line work, awesome stuff right here. And so Goku flies into the sky and flies right up there to Gomah. Goma's like, oh, this sky again? And he flies right past him, doing a little fancy work, and Goma's like, so what you gonna do? What's up then? And Goku right there looking really awesome. He stands there looking straight there, and yeah, like Goma's like, he's like, so he says, so now it's you again. And Goku getting that stretch in. He's going ahead getting no stretch, trying to buy some time. And as he's getting stretching in, Goma's like, it doesn't matter who fights me. And he says, why don't you all just fight me at once? And Goku's like, in his mind, he's doing an internal dialogue within his mind saying, time ain't on our side, ain't on my side here. And he says, I need to end this quickly. And you see Piccolo, he's like hiding behind a rock, so he's trying to not make it obvious here. And he goes ahead and he nods over to Son Goku. And Goku, I mean, I just love the whole animation here as Goku is just stretching. He's like, take a good look, Gomah. And Goma's like, I'm looking because you ain't gonna do nothing. And you see Goku right there in his base form. He looks up with his eye. It's black. And then, boom, it shines. Ready to go SS1. I love how they did this. And so, Son Goku starts powering up and just loving the energy, loving all the sparks and stuff like that. He starts powering up, and oh my gosh. I gotta say, this whole thing, Masako Nozawa, 88 years old, absolutely killed this entire scene. This woman, to be at her age and have so much energy, her voice being able to hold up when she's been yelling like this for, oh my gosh, how many, 40 plus years now is Dragon Ball? Like, man, absolutely the GOAT. The GOAT. In wrestling, they do this a lot where we bow down because, my gosh, Masako Nozawa, fantastic. And for us English dub as well, that follow the English dub, Sean Schimmel, you all know he's gonna kill this just right here. You know, he's gonna do it. So shout out to Masako Nozawa, Sean Schimmel, who both in Japan, here in America, absolutely have killed it as Son Goku, and I can't wait to hear them in this scene. And so Goku's hair starts going into blondish, and then he's there, SS1, and he looks right over to Gomah, and look at that, look at the energy. Ah! Like, my gosh, just the yell is gonna be really awesome. Ah! Like, I can't wait. My gosh, woo-hoo. That is Yuya Takahashi's influence right there on the animation, indeed. Yes, sir. My God, look how as SS1 Goku ever looks so awesome. Fantastic. And now he's looking right over there at Gomah, and you see the oars just starts wrapping around him, and you get an impact frame here, and boom, SS1 ore is complete, and Goku just standing right there looking awesome as ever. And I really love that we're seeing Son Goku fight in a different variation of his outfit. I mentioned before that I really love his Fakatsu no F, aka Resurrection F outfit, so this is really cool to see, see Toriyama change things up in seeing Goku in adult form wearing this. So he goes like, this is a Super Saiyan, aka Super Saiyan, aka Super Saiyajin. And Gomah's like, and we see electric sparks going, and it's becoming clear here, like, oh, they are pulling off the classic SS3 moment, when he did the demonstrations, when he's like, this is a Super Saiyan, and then this is even further beyond, a Super Saiyan 2. No, he's like, this is a Super Saiyan 2, and then he says, to go even further beyond. Like, oh, I was like, this is sick. That's one of my favorite all-time Son Goku moments. I'm going to have a lot to say about it in an upcoming Son Goku podcast that I recorded back in October of 2024, which, because of this moment, I'm going to have to go back and record some extra footage to add to that now. And so we get this really cool impact frame, and Goku is now SS2 Super Saiyajin 2. Super Saiyan 2, aka Super Saiyan 2. Oh my gosh, look at this. As SS2 ever looks so awesome. The shading is so fantastic here. And then, yeah, that's where he goes. This is Super Saiyajin 2. And Gomah's like, and look at the drawing. Look at the animation. This is looking sick. And then next he goes like, and the electricity starts, flying, and he starts doing the big yell, and the energy is flying everywhere with electricity, and there it is indeed. Look at that as this camera pans up. I love it where he's powering up into SS2. Like, my gosh, I have never seen SS2 look better. I'm looking at this like, I know the moment that they're doing this after. I know it's patterned after the first SS3 transformation back in the Buu saga, but I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, this is drawn so much better. The shading, like this looks even better than the original moment that this is based off of. And you see right there, everyone knows what's coming in next. And you got Kuendu there looking on with Arinsu. You got Tamagami 1 and Neva looking very confident because he knows what Goku's got planned here. And I just love it. Like, this is just directly taken right from shot when Goku went SS3, but this looks so much better. And I love that moment. Absolutely love that moment. What I'm saying is this moment just topped it. Fantastic stuff, man. I feel like, you get Mazako Nozawa. I can't do the Mazako Nozawa. Mine sounds better. But of course, when we hear Sean Schemmel going like it's gonna be really awesome. And there you see Piccolo waiting into the in the back. You got Vegeta looking there because he knows what's coming next. Vegeta probably a little salty because he's like, can't believe I almost lost taking baths with Bulma. That would have been devastating, right? And so you see electricity man just This is looking fantastic. The electricity, the thunderbolts now coming out of Goku as he's as they're going around the whole area, boom, blowing up the rocks, more electricity blowing up the rocks everywhere. Like, oh my gosh, this is looking really awesome as the debris starts flying everywhere. He's just using these thunderbolts, just destroying all the rocks nearby. Like, okay, I'm like, okay, this is looking sick. And you're seeing the golden glow right there. You got thunderbolts coming all over there. I'm like, hoo hoo hoo. This is sick, man. We're seeing the full power of SS3. Remember, this is Goku after a year and a half or so training, so he's had more time to power up SS3 more than ever before. And then the hair, it starts flying out, and at this point I'm like, oh, are we getting SS3 like the way Vegeta's SS3 looks like? That's kind of what it looks like, but then it goes further down. I love SS3, my favorite form. I love it. Man, this is the GOAT transformation right here, and this is probably the GOAT in terms of transformations. Man, you see the blue eye right there, Goku looking completely in game. Like, look at that. That is all focused. Like, oh my gosh, it looks so sick. Just look how sick that look right there. Goku SS3. I'm like, it has never looked better. That's why I always say, like, do you guys think it looks better with the eyebrows or with not or without? Man, he's powering up. Like, this is just fantastic. The animators have gone hard here. This is what happens. Yuya Takahashi and his team for this episode going absolute hard right now. And you see the electricity, the awesome display. Goku powers up and he does the I love that part, man. Oh, look at the shine, look at the power, and then the whole area, boom, just completely disintegrates the whole rocks behind him. I was like, yo, sick. I was like, sick. I'm like, I did not know this. I did not come into this thinking that we were gonna see a transformation that would give the OG SS3 transformation moment a run for his money, if not even better. Like, boom, just disintegrating the whole ground below them. Really sick stuff as Gomah's looking back and he's like, ah. And we get the whole pan up of the SS3 hair, the electricity looking awesome as ever, and he even does the turn. Like, yes. Once again, Dragon Ball DAIMA almost sort of being like this celebration of all things Dragon Ball. Epic moment, great tribute. Like, holy crap, that is the greatest SS3 transformation I've seen. And we've seen some amazing ones, from the original one to going back to the one in movie 12. This was sick. I absolutely love it. Just fantastic. SS3 Goku looking on point. Man, look at that. The electricity, everything, just loving it. And he goes like, and he ends with the whole, and this is what I call a Super Saiyan 3, aka Super Saiyan 3, or Super Saiyajin 3. Like, oh my gosh, fantastic. And Gomah was like, more pointless transformations, which is actually very much similar to what Bobbity said when he said, pointless transformations. He says, so what? You've changed your hair. And he's like, Majin Buu, I think our friend is in need of a haircut. Oh my gosh, man. Here, let me get a little sip of water, keep my voice up for the next part. And everyone is in complete shock and awe of what they're seeing at SS3 Goku. And Hybis is like, these guys seem more like Majins. I love that he's been watching this whole thing so clear and everything and stuff like that. It's Split. Thanks for joining the chat. You say W. Yeah, this whole thing was a W indeed, a big win. And so SS3 Goku with electricity is facing off right now with Gomah, looking up at him, and it's like, okay, we about to get in now. I'm like, all right, SS3, let's see what SS3 Goku can do, because if we look, SS3 Vegeta, he looks stronger than SS4 Goku. He did better against Gomah than SS4 Goku did. And I'm okay with that, because as we know, Vegeta in SS2 was stronger than SS3 Goku by the time you get to 4.5 years later in Battle of Gods, and Vegeta's trained that much. So I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that. But ladies and gentlemen, this is where the big shocker came in. Gomah gets on guard, ready to fight, and Goku's just looking all focused at SS3, and he smiles as he turns. I'm like, okay, look at that. I'm like, man, they got the shots right. Like, look at that. The way this is animated, the way this is drawn, the way the effects are done, this just makes Goku ooze of SS3 power. And they zoom into his mouth, and he's like, one more bonus. And I'm like, what? This is right here. I'm like, one more bonus. And I'm like, what are they talking about? And Gomah's like, huh? And I'm like, when I was watching, I'm like, wait, what's he mean? One more bonus. And Vegeta's like, it can't be. And Goku, just the dark shading right here, the energy just looking really awesome. He says, this is. And he starts powering up. I'm like, no way. Electricity going on. I'm like, no way. I'm like, at will? He can do it at will? And you start seeing it. I'm like, oh, this is where, you know, before I was talking about a transformation that matched the SS3 OG moment. Now with this, I'm talking about something that may very well have surpassed that moment. And I didn't think I was going to see a moment that surpassed that one coming in the Dragon Ball DAIMA. The animators, they go hard. They're going the transformation. They're going even further beyond with the animation. So we start getting all this thunder coming out of the sky, and Goku's just going into true power-up mode here. Thunder everywhere. I'm like, what is going on here? He's got thunderbolts coming out of him right now, and Goku's like, and look at that face. Look at the energy. Look at the animation as he's going hard. Like Masako Nozawa was going too hard on the screen and still killing it at 88 years old. You know Sean Schimmel, like I said, is gonna kill it. He's up there going, I'm like, oh my gosh, the electricity, the thunderbolts, and look at that, look at the shading, look at the drones, like, holy crap. I was like, wow, like this is amazing. Powering up with SS3, and he's going even stronger, going even further beyond than to go even further beyond. And man, we get this cool thing where the eye, you see that cool blue, and it switches over to red. I'm like, he's doing it. And look at that, he's like, oh, like red eye SS3. Goku looks so sick. Look at the energy, the power, and man, Goku is in all types of power and pain. It looks like it, man. He's just trying to hold on as much energy, and he turns right here, and this right here, he starts grabbing his shirt, and I'm thinking Goku's being super extra for no reason at this point, but he takes the shirt and he pulls it. This is just really sick looking right here, and he rips it off, and boom, goes past the camera, and then they take the camera and they pan it up to Goku, and he throws off his belt, his shirts, and I'm like, okay, I don't see a reason for him to do that instead of it happening naturally. So I guess they don't want to leave a doubt that it's magical based. They wanted to make sense, but this is cool. I'm like, this is the first time we've seen shirtless SS3 Goku. You know, when shirtless Goku is a thing, that's pretty much showing you how big the fight's going to be. That means, okay, we are in the home stretch of this. This is everything's business right now. So I'm like, this is something you could only see, I think, going back to the Budokai 3 games right here. So Goku, you know, power up, he stops the ore, throws it in there. He's like kind of holding ore in his body with how much he's glowing, so the clothes, they go flying, and then Goku right here, boom, big energy blast, and he gets right back to powering up, and we see the red ore mixing with the gold ore. I don't know what's keeping his pants up or why he wears it, or maybe it's just to keep the shirt under wraps there, who knows. And look at the spiraling of the energy. Oh my gosh, I'm like, what the heck, this is an amazing transformation. And oh my gosh, the electricity, the sparks, and boom, look how big the entire aura gets. I'm like, holy crap, we got the thunder. Like, man, all out for this transformation, really making this thing feel special. And Goku right there, you know, he's like, I'm like, my gosh, this looks so sick with the thunder, the electricity, the aura, just all of it going everywhere. Like, my gosh, this makes it look like Goku is going all out. Yes, indeed. And we see this big giant aura. It splits right there, and then boom, big red aura going all out. I'm like, oh, this is so sick. And then gigantic golden blast that takes up the entire area. I'm like, wow. The animators, it's one thing to watch it here in stills, but if you've not seen it and it just creates this big giant flash of light, if you have not seen it, you got to see it for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, the stills don't even do the image. They're amazing, but to see it in motion, my gosh, it was absolutely fantastic. And I love this. This is kind of like a callback to how in the original SS3 transformation, you had the earth was shaking and buildings were being destroyed, and you had all the way even in the world of the Kaioken. They were able to feel the energy. So here we're in the second demon realm, and you can see the aura has reached over to the second demon realm. The aura has reached over to the third demon realm. So this is just how powerful this transformation is, and they're all looking on like, holy crap, it's blinding them, the light and everything. I like Dr. Arinsu though, she's just cool. She's like and everything, and Majin Ku and Do are unfazed there, and Tamagami 1's all serious looking at it, and of course Neva, this is why he was smiling, this is the energy. And I'm shocked because I thought, okay, Neva, this has to be done with Neva, but apparently Goku remembered how to do this and can do this at will, and the energy, it ends up clearing out, and we see this rock, and we see a big hand come on up, and it grabs it, and the energy is cleared. And yeah, we could tell by that reddish hair, and coming out, you see right there Gomah looking on. He's like, oh. And right there you see the fur, and then you see the big giant forearms. So the big giant hands are still remaining because it's more primal like. And then we end up getting a panning shot. We see the body right there, and then we see the hair, and there it is, adult Super Saiyajin 4 / Super Saiyan 4 / Super Saiyan 4 in terms of the Dragon Ball DAIMA version, Son Goku. Man, this looks sick as an adult. So this is cool. We're getting to see what he looks like as an adult. Like, man, I'm so glad. I'm like, I didn't know, because you knew we weren't seeing these forms anytime in Super. So it's now or never. Looking absolutely sick. I thought this was phenomenal. And there you see Gomah. He is livid. He is mad. And he's like, and SS4 Goku, he ends up going ahead, and he's looking right there, all on business, ready to go one-on-one with Gomah. He is ready for round 2, and he's looking at those big old hands like, I need to see this Goku square up. This is a Goku you don't want to box with. You see how big them hands are for this? Man, oh boy, this was looking good, and Goku just basically getting a grip on himself, basically feeling it out now. And then right there, he, boom, puts his hand down and grips it into a fist. He is ready for battle. And look at that sick shot, sick looking animation. Just love it. Like, oh my gosh. Like I said, I do like the OG SS4 form better, with the contrast of the black and the reddish fur and everything. Like, this is pretty much the fur he had, but Toriyama decided to, obviously with this design, match the hair and everything with it, which I guess does make a lot more sense. But I do like the design choices and the way it wraps around the chest and everything. Like, this is, I don't think it's bad at all. I love it. I absolutely love this SS4 design. And then with the fur nearly coming on the forearms, like side of like halfway to the forearms, like this just looks so amazing. Like, it is an awesome looking form, definitely for sure. And stuff like that. Man, just the way Toriyama did it, because I remember who was the initial one was, oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember who was it. It was that did the SS4 design. I'm trying to remember who did the SS4 design. How did I forget his name? It should be on the top of my head. Who did the SS4? Yeah, who designed it? It's right on the top of my head. I can't remember his name. Who designed it? I'm trying to figure it out. Yes, Katsuyoshi Nakasuro. Yeah, I don't know the animators as well, but I've heard that name before. I just forgot it. Yeah, Nakasuro. Just Nakasuro's design looked amazing, and then he obviously redesigned. He took Toriyama's design, I'm believing, from basically everything that's been stated in terms of the press. Toriyama's design here, and remade it here for the animation stuff. Just looks phenomenal. And there you see with Gomah basically looking back in the distance. SS4, Gomah's not looking so confident, like, but Goku, Son Goku, looking really awesome as ever. He is confident. Like, man, that shot right there, this looks awesome. I do like the way the hair is designed, though, even though it's not black. Like, man, this just looks awesome, phenomenal. And yeah, that's the ending shot of the episode. Whew. Oh my gosh, what an amazing episode. Fantastic. Like I said, this really felt like a love letter to longtime Vegeta and Son Goku fans. If you were from Toriyama, this is his love letter to all of us. We got to see SS3 Vegeta, SS4 Goku, phenomenal in this episode. Neilthrin says, I hope SS4 Goku uses Dragon Fist in the last episode. Yes, I'm with you. Ryukan! Oh, my terrible Masaka Nozawa. But yeah, Ryukan, aka Dragon Fist. Oh, here Shanshin will go, Dragon Fist! Like, man, awesome. Yes, I love to see that become a part of this. It would make sense, too. Neva created the Dragon Balls, so maybe he's able to give the special dragon power to them. So, as we go into the episode 20... the episode 20 remake or episode 20 preview here, we got SS4 Goku. So coming on board for this episode, as he does with a lot of the final battles, we have Natoshi Shida. Natoshi Shida. Shida has done some of the most legendary final battles in Dragon Ball. Vegeta, the final battle with the first fight with Vegeta, Goku versus Jiren. He did, of course, the legendary Gogeta Broly fight. So man, yeah, Shida's just done some phenomenal stuff here, and he's been brought on board here, and you can just see how awesome this looks. SS4 Goku on point, ready to fly off into the distance. And the next episode's called Maximum, aka Zenkai. So yeah, this is looking really good. Just the way they're panning out the shot, you know they're gonna go all out. And I think this needs to be one of the all-time greatest fights in Dragon Ball history. We need to be throwing it right up there with the Gogeta Jiren, the Gogeta Broly fight, the Goku Jiren fight. Yeah, Jiren versus Goku and Gogeta versus Broly. Like, those are some modern day Dragon Balls that were so well animated, so amazing, that I think they stand among some of the greatest Dragon Ball fights we've ever seen, going back to some of the old stuff. And you see Goku right there, looks like he is able to become one with this power, and he is ready. And you see Gomah, like, I think, like Gomah seems to be all business. Like, Gomah got even more jack and everything, ready to fight SS4. Yeah, he's looking more and more like Jiren, a reject Jiren, right? And you see the energy explosion going off right there, just looking really fantastic, man. And flying towards Gomah, and I just think that looks really awesome right there. And SS4 Goku with his arm there, using some ki blasts, just, man, giant hand too, in fact, showing that awesome blast. Like, these are just what they're showing here. Like, I love the way this looks, the eye, the close-up of the eye, and just, that looks fantastic, the shading, all that. You know they're bringing out all the big top heavy hitters for these animations, just like they did in the final episodes of Super and stuff, and Broly. And you see SS4 Goku yelling right there, man. Yeah, I'm like I said, I thought that fight we saw in episode 18 was the best SS4 fight I think we've ever seen, compared to GT or Dragon Ball GT. And here though, I think we're about to see one of the all-time greats here. So this is looking good. Like, just look at that blast, look at the effects, the shading, man. Like, they are just definitely not disappointing when it comes to the animation here. And that's the last shot we're left with the big cool blast. So that is fantastic. So I'm gonna get my thoughts here. Let me just get a sip of water as far as what I like to see heading into the final episode of Daima. So yeah, what I will say is, as much as I did love episode 19, I wish Vegeta would have also gone SS4, and I was hoping we were going to see Goku and Vegeta at SS4 fighting Gomah to no avail, and then the cliffhanger would have been them eating the fusion bugs that were teased, and we would have gotten our tease of hopefully the potential fusion, because it's going to go one or two ways. Either Goku's going to be the hero of this thing, or Goku and Vegeta will be SS4 and will fuse together, and then we'll see them beating them, or we'll see them beat Gomah, or it's gonna be a whole gag thing where the Nahare and Kibito will fuse back together using the bugs, and the power of that will make it so that Majin Buu can absorb them, and they have to rely on the Dragon Balls so that way they can keep the continuity going with Dragon Ball Super. There are some things that I think do have to be explained here, and being this is episode 20, this is where we start looking back on some of those episodes, like going back to basically that episode where they had the giants and stuff, where you're starting to wonder, was all time utilized? Well, there's a lot to cram into episode 20, and it's not going to be a 1 hour plus finale. It's going to be 24 minutes regular runtime. So the thing that I'm looking here going into episode 20 here that I'm wondering about is there enough time to get the story out and not make it feel rushed? So as of right now, we got to have SS4 Goku against Gomah. Potentially we got to make sure that the tease of those few of those fusion bugs are met with a fulfilling satisfying conclusion. We have to understand, how is Goku at SS4? It does need to be explained by Neva, I think, at least, saying that even if you don't tell us exactly what he did with the form and if this is SS4, because it's called SS4 in the promotional material because that's what's going to be the most recognizable one, but I don't know if they've given it a full name in the show. But we need a good explanation for why it is that Goku can't do this form once he gets to the outside world, thus explaining why he was not able to use it during Super, and why when he fought Beerus in Battle of Gods, he said SS3 was the absolute maximum form he could do. Even if they don't explain, I think they kind of, even if they don't say it, they've pretty much explained why Vegeta for the most part doesn't want to use SS3 because of all those stamina issues and all that stuff like that. So that's something that I think definitely needs to be explained and wrapped up in everything. So I'm guessing the first half of the episode will be the big grand finale fight, and then they'll wrap things up and everything as far as where this is going to lead into Battle of Gods, and hopefully we get a big cliffhanger. That's something I would like to see in the next episode, a big cliffhanger for maybe what's to come in later episodes of Dragon Ball Super, if they ever get around to doing the moral arc, or the granola arc and everything, which I really hope they get to soon, because as amazing and healthy as Masako Nozawa is at 88 years old, the fact of the matter is she's up there in age, and it would be absolutely horrific if Masako Nozawa, her time comes and then they're ready to finally bring some of Toriyama's final work from the Dragon Ball Super manga into anime form. I wonder if this point, if they think it's going to be years before they do it, whether it be Toei or Shueisha, both of them, if that's what's taking it for so long to them decide on when to do the bring back Dragon Ball Super anime. I would hope that maybe, hey, you got the dialogue out there, have Masako Nozawa go ahead and basically voice all the dialogue from the manga, and you'll build the animation therefore. So therefore, let's say if they wait multiple years before they decide to get to those chapters, at least the voices are done. So if Masako does end up passing away due to old age, at least they have her voice and her lines right there, as they say, sitting right there on file and everything to use. So that's something right there, because I don't like how long they're waiting for that, with how older the Japanese voice cast is. So I definitely would like to see that. But this has got to be a grand slam. This has got to be a home run stretch, episode 20, because this is what everything has been building towards. This is what's going to make episode 20, how episode 20 structure is what's going to really make us go back and be like, okay, the pacing and everything that they did in Dragon Ball Super, it was necessary. That's why they did it, and everything and stuff like that. Or is it going to feel rushed and we're like, okay, you could have shaved off of there and put some more time here? So but overall, it's going to be an emotional one too as well, because regardless of the issues that Dragon Ball DAIMA's had, it's not been perfect, but for the most part, I have absolutely enjoyed it. It really does feel like Akira Toriyama's work. It's sad that Akira Toriyama was not able to see it in the end, in terms of how it looked when it was completed, since he did write the story and did the character designs and was very hands-on early on in the production. But yeah, to our knowledge, because I know Geekdom 101, he has hinted that possibly Toriyama may have written a movie, but ever since his passing, he doesn't know as far as where that's going to end up going. So as of right now, to our knowledge, this is Akira Toriyama. Episode 20 is Akira Toriyama's final Dragon Ball written work, final designs. So we're gonna be going into this and just taking it all in, one last ride to enjoy Akira Toriyama's work from his creative mind here. So episode 20 will be a good one, and overall I really have enjoyed Dragon Ball Super. It has been just a really big blast. So yeah, we'll see where that's going. And as stated in the chat, Dragon Fist, seeing Dragon Fist would be awesome. We might get the Genki Dama aka Spirit Bomb usually, but yeah, seeing the Dragon Fist, or hey, maybe they do what Budokai 3 did, where he has the Genki Dama and it absorbs into his body and turns it into the Dragon Fist. That would be sick. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where everything is gonna go for episode 20 of Dragon Ball DAIMA. All right, gonna head over to chat and see what else we got here. I wouldn't be surprised if Goku uses a spirit bomb to defeat Gomah, since they are borrowing stuff from GT. GT. Always got to say it the way the narrator does in the Funimation dub. Yeah, that would be cool. I that's why I'm expecting, like, we're probably gonna get a Genki Dama, a spirit bomb or something like that. We got to get that out of here, because there's so much about Dragon Ball and it's such an iconic move and everything. Even though it only defeated Kid Buu, yeah, I would imagine they would want to break that out or something and stuff, and gather ki from everyone in the demon realm and stuff like that, the friends they made along the way. You say also, I'm hoping Masako Nozawa found an understudy. Yes, that's something that I haven't heard about. Like, knowing the woman is 88 years old and that she's up there in age, I would imagine, hey, get someone who can replace Masako Nozawa for when her time does come. But I don't know if they have. And yeah, you cannot rely on her forever, obviously, and stuff like that. So yeah, hopefully they find somebody. And from what I've heard, her voice is very hard to mimic and everything. Her voice is very distinct to her. So yeah, we don't know. It's gonna be a sad day in the Dragon Ball fandom when her time comes. Because I think Akira Toriyama, and is it Toshimura? Was it Toriyama's editor? I think was his name Toshira? Let me see. Toriyama's editor. Torishima? Yeah. Kazuhiko Torishima. Akira Toriyama, the man himself, Masako Nozawa. I think if you were to make a Mount Rushmore, and probably Shunsuke Kikuchi for the music and Dragon Ball, those would probably be 4 iconic figures that I think you would put on a Mount Rushmore for the 4 most important figures in Dragon Ball history that really helped make the series what it is. So yeah, definitely. That being said, hey, I appreciate the love in the chat for everybody who showed up tonight as we enjoyed this. It's been a blast doing these Dragon Ball DAIMA episodes for the last 20 weeks and so. Episode 20 will be the last stream, but I will have more Dragon Ball content coming out, even though I'll be ending the weekly live streams for Dragon Ball DAIMA, obviously. More Dragon Ball content to come. But that being said, you can click there on the screen to see more, and also make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I release Dragon Ball DAIMA episode 20 review. And all my social media links will be right there in the description and pinned comment below. Until next time.